A powerful scene in a Texas courtroom. A man whose brother was shot to death by a Dallas police officer forgiving his brother's killer and embracing her.
If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes.
And the judge also hugging that former officer, Amber Geiger, and giving her a Bible after sentencing her to 10 years behind bars for killing a neighbor, an unarmed black man, in his own apartment. She says she mistook it for her apartment and thought he was an intruder. Let's bring in Jonathan Morris, Fox News contributor, theologian, and ethicist, because you can help us think about this going forward in our own lives, right? The amount of poise and dignity from that 18-year-old young man was really incredible.
Yeah, and the poise and dignity came forth from a heart that had already given up a just cause that he had against this police officer. Let me just say that again, a just cause. Because we make all sorts of excuses in our personal lives why we won't forgive somebody. And it usually has to do with the fact that the other person did something wrong, objectively wrong. But forgiveness is saying, even though I have a just cause against you, I'm going to give it up. Because God is the only one who is perfect. You know, Dana, as I was walking into the studio, a gentleman in the parking lot, I'm here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, visiting family, and a gentleman said, "What are you talking about on TV now?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to talk about the story of this guy who forgave the killer of his brother." And he said, "Oh, that's what the world needs right now, and that's what we need in this very tense point in our country." And he said, "Didn't Jesus say something about that?" Like, he goes, "I don't really know, I don't remember, but the Bible said something about if you don't forgive, God won't forgive you. It's judge not, lest you be judged."
Talk to me a little bit also about the bravery of this young man who says that he was never planning to say this in front of his family, but that he chose to speak. And when you live your faith and you choose to speak about it, that can often feel a little scary.
Yeah, exactly. And to bring both of those points together, Dana, you know, about whether you do it for yourself or for somebody else. And I think it's the consequence of doing something out of love is that it also helps you. But it's love that drives the decision. It's love for the other person. And the result is that both are winners. Somebody just wrote to me on Facebook when I posted that I was going to be on this afternoon, and she said, "My brother was killed in 2007, and I've never been able to forgive until now." Watching this young man do it. So the winners, it's really a tie to see who wins. It's first of all, the woman who received forgiveness, right, this police officer. Secondly, the guy who forgave, we know he's going to be in a lot better position right now. And third, it's all of us. We all win. And the difference between that winning and the opposite of just holding a grudge, anger eats away at our soul. It's our own soul and the soul of our nation.
What about the fact that this entire trial, I don't know if you had a chance to follow it, but
Sure.
throughout you had a lot of love and kindness within this courtroom, with everybody understanding the terrible situation, the loss of a life, a mistake that turned out to be something she's going to have to spend 10 years in prison for. But the bailiff was kind to her. The judge was kind. The judge gives her a Bible. In this case, I mean, you've done prison ministry in your life, and this isn't typically how it goes down.
No, it's not. And the difference is hatred or love. It's anger or forgiveness. And I think we apply it, each one of us, in our own lives. And it's not only asking for forgiveness. It's actually forgiving when I have a just cause against another person. Forgiving when there's a just cause, and I think that's the heart of it all.
Even if that person does, if that person isn't, sorry about something,
that's right.
Still forgiving is the way to go, right?
Yeah. Remember, Jesus said, for example, he was being crucified, and he said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do."